Daylight, my MVVs, welcome. Mystery continued to, unfold as Ebony allegedly requested a space to move back to the Ayaba wing of the Oni of Ife's palace. Now, what is going on is the question that a lot of people are asking. Now, for months, Ebony had held her head high, believing that her position as one of the Oloris of the Oni of Ife was unshakable, despite the whispers of betrayal and the growing resentment among the people of Ile-Ife. She remained in the palace, convinced that the gods would not punish her for what she had done, okay? But everything changed the moment she heard the news. Queen Naomi is actually returning and Iyannifa is back in the palace. For the first time, Ebony felt fear, not just of the people's wrath, but of something greater. The gods had refused to, accept any of her ritual. Lately, not one. They keep vomiting from one river to the other. Now, she has two choices: stand her grounds or face divine retribution, or quietly move her belonging back to the Ayaba quarters, away from, the main house, okay? From the moment the sacred drum of judgment, gudu gudu, sounded in the palace, the elders had warned that the gods were displeased. Ebony tried to ignore the sign, but as the days passed, she could no longer deny them, okay? As we are hearing what is going on right now in the palace. Now, they said the reason why she made that decision to move into the Ayaba suit where she used to be before, okay? They said it's because something happened. That night, Iyannifa had seen a white pigeon that once symbolized divine favor. That pigeon flew out of the palace of the Oni of Ife. And you do remember that it was a pigeon that was used to throw Naomi out of the palace, okay? Now, they saw that the white pigeon that once symbolized divine favor had flown from the palace the night before the revelation of the betrayer. Now, the people of Ile-Ife had turned against Ebony, refusing to greet her in the market, whispering about the curse that would befall anyone who aligned with her. That is in that their space, that they are not like the entire everybody. They have this their tradition. She's a traditional person. So they have this their group, this meeting group that they are using all these their Olokun people, those traditional people, okay? That they had a lot of them are beginning to move themselves away from her. Now, the palace priest, they said, had gone silent, refusing to perform ritual on her behalf. From last week, she's been trying to perform series of rituals. And the gods were not accepting the rituals. One very prominent event was in a spiritual river right there in Ile-Ife, where they said the water had turned pinkish. Is it pinkish or reddish? And hot, very hot, which signifies, I don't know, it signifies something really bad, okay? Now, they said then came the worst blow. Oni of Ife had, not summoned her in days. But when Kabiyesi summoned her, Kabiyesi told her she's going to be lonely, okay? And that really broke her into so many pieces. Now, after that event, yes, it is true that she has been seen in one or two places, all kitted up and everything. But internally, she is sick because of what is happening. Now, she understands Yoruba history well enough to know that when a queen has this kind of problem, her fate is almost sealed. She had the fate of other queens that did stuff like this. Some had been cast out completely, forced to live in obscurity. Some had fallen ill, mysteriously struck down by the wrath of the gods, and others had disappeared without trace, their names erased from history. Now, Ebony is somebody that has you know, had the favor of the Oni of Ife for a very long time. And she already understands the history of Ile Ife. Nobody expect her to go and stay there and be waiting for people to come and tell her what to do. They said the next morning, the people of Ile Ife gathered outside the palace watching as, you know, she had already started kind of moving her things too. Remember that Ikpi moved her things, you know, trying to move back like this relegation. You know, this is what happens when you sit down and you think that you can take another woman's destiny. They say women were murmuring amongst themselves that this is what happened when you think you can take another woman's destiny. The gods have spoken. No matter how much she tried, she could never replace Queen Naomi. If she had been patient, maybe she would have, you know, not fallen this way. Things are tough in the palace of the Oni of Ife right now, as we are hearing. Things are not looking good. Things are not going well at all, at all, at all. Not with Ebony, not with Ikpi. These are the people that they have been able to catch. Like they don't catch them red-handed, now. But remember, gospel is still there. Blow is still there. Yes, it's a good thing that Blow repented like long ago before now. Maybe, just maybe that will stand for her because people know that she repented. Then, who else? Oletik is still there. We are all aware that Oletik is neither here nor there. She's not always seriously into, you know, she might hurt you emotionally and want to do guy with your place, but she's really not into like, okay, ahead, I must do it, it must be like this, I must take her place. All of them, because they think that they are from Ile Ife. They can just treat Queen Naomi that way, treat her anyhow they like. Everything will just happen. They don't know that, or they never knew that the gods is on the side of that woman. They never knew that they were harming themselves. They thought that it's going to be business as usual. Things will remain the same way it has always been. Like they can do whatever it is that they want to do with Olori Naomi. That was what they thought. But God is showing them every day that, look, I am with this woman. You cannot treat her the way you want. You cannot just treat her the way you want. I am going to be here and I will continue to fight for Olori Naomi. That is exactly what God is showing to each and every one of them. That is what God is showing to them. Yes. I'm going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumored, unverified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as facts.